Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel Tarot Z. I'm Z and I'm going to be doing your tarot reading, finding out what are the messages that come through with the cards that come out in this reading for you today. Thank you so much for joining and for being here for the reading. So let's begin. Let's find out what messages come through and what cards come out. So the first card that we have is the Two of Pentacles, and it is in the reverse. But we do have Earth sign energy. Could be dealing with a Virgo, Taurus, or even Capricorn. And we have the Seven of Cups. And we have the Five of Cups in the reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. So this King of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like a very mature energy when it comes to somebody that you are dealing with. I do feel like this person is someone who is, they could be very mature in the way that they really handling things, especially from the emotional front. I do feel like this does also feel like somebody who has a lot of emotions, and I do feel like they have a lot of control over the way they're presenting their emotions. It may be difficult to actually read this person for where they're at because of the amount of control they try to exert over their emotions, especially when presenting them. But with this King of Cups card showing up over here, this definitely does feel like there's strong emotions, and I do feel like it runs deeper than they even let on. But I do feel that with this Two of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, this is an energy about trying to really get in a position where a person has a hold on their life, especially as far as getting organized when it comes to dealing with more than just one thing at a time. Do you feel like you could be dealing with somebody who works a lot, or at this time they are in a position where they have a lot on their plates and they're working a lot? I do feel like with this Two of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, this also feels like an energy of being in a space where they're trying to make everything work in a way that is going to allow for some consistency when it comes to the way they show up. And I do feel like they're affected by this imbalance when it comes to dealing with a lot. So it does feel like this person may be actually feeling overwhelmed right now. And I do feel like it's especially on a practical level, but I do feel like it affects the way they show up in the connection. I do feel like when it comes to your connection with this person, it is one that actually throws them off. It's like it happens or starts at a time that is even a little bit inconvenient for them. It's like they didn't plan for it, but it does feel like it's a connection that has a hold on them, and it does something for them. They feel the connection, and I do feel like even in spite of everything they have going on, their attention is also on this connection with you. And I do feel like even just the way you're making this person feel. So the Seven of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like this could be a time where you have a lot of, or you have several options available to you. I do feel like this could be something that you are aware of or something that you're unaware of right now, but I do feel like there are options right now. I also feel like with the Seven of Cups showing up over here, that could even be something that puts you in a position to choose. I do feel like it could even be an overwhelming choice. But with the Seven of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being in a position where you are able to explore several options if you choose to. With the Five of Cups showing up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of coming out of something and being in a place where you are better than before. I do feel like this does feel like a lot of healing. I also feel like this is also having a more positive outlook on things as opposed to a jaded one based upon a past experience. So this does feel like healing, and I also feel that this also feels like being empowered to move forward. So the Five of Cups showing up in the reverse over here, this feels like a positive outlook on things and what's possible in the future. So I do feel like it's a great place to be. I also feel like it's a lot of healing. I also feel that when it comes to taking action towards what's next and what's the next step, this is also coming from a position that is healthy. A mindset that is healthy. So I'm going to clarify these cards. We have the Death card. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. And we have the Knight of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands. And it's in the reverse. So this Three of Wands showing up in the reverse, this does feel like an energy of coming out of a waiting period. I also feel like, especially if you're waiting on somebody in any way, this does feel like being able to actually reach the end of a waiting period. I also feel like with the Three of Wands that this could be because of getting fed up with having to wait on someone or on something. But I do feel like it's an energy of really reaching the end of a waiting period and being able to actually experience the movement forward. I do feel like with this Death card showing up over here, we do have Scorpio energy, and you could be dealing with a Scorpio. But with this Death card showing up over here and you need this Two of Pentacles, this feels like an energy where there is actually there's a lot of depth, especially when it comes to the way this person feels about you. Could even be a little bit intense. I do feel like it's even overwhelming them. But with this Death card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of holding on. I also feel like reaching a point where something is no longer able to exist in a certain way. So this does feel like actually being in a position where this person is making a decision to be able to move forward with a finite decision. So I do feel like with this Two of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, it's a little bit of a energy of trying to juggle or balance between more than one option than somebody can actually handle in a way that doesn't get to them. So this Death card, I do feel like that comes to an end. I do feel like this is an energy of being able to actually be quite assertive in the way forward and being able to make a decision and being able to stick to it. So this Death card showing up over here, this does also feel like an energy of really being, it's like something has to give, someone has to let go of something, and I do feel like they are letting go of something that's weighing them down. And I do feel like it's allowing for this connection to thrive. So I do feel like it's taking a turn when it comes to the way they're showing up in this connection, even just the way they're perceiving it with you. Things are changing, and I do feel like there's a lot of changes on the horizon in this connection. It's coming from a place of also being open to allowing for things to be able to at least breathe. And I do feel like with this Death card showing up over here, this also feels like this person being in a space where they are getting to a more decisive place so that they can show up in a way that isn't actually weighing them down. Do you feel like when it comes to this connection, this person is someone who they're taking on a lot more than they can handle? So I do feel like with this Death card showing up over here, this does feel like a condition. This person's unable to continue with that. And do you feel like this feels like actually prioritizing with this Two of Pentacles in the reverse, prioritizing your connection, prioritizing their feelings in this connection, and also paying attention. I do feel like with the Seven of Pentacles showing up underneath this Seven of Cups, this does feel like an energy that feels like being in a space where it feels like things are delayed. And I do feel like it's because of having so much to consider. With that Seven of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like an energy that's a little bit overwhelming as far as how much choice you actually have. I do feel like with the Seven of Pentacles, this does feel like a lot of consideration as to what is worth it and what is not worth the effort, the time, the investment. So I do feel like you're really in a position to be able to really contemplate on a deeper level what you need from something and what you are going to be able to get from which option. So I do feel like with the Seven of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like also being very patient in a situation and with things. And I do feel like with the Seven of Pentacles, that this also feels like an energy of I do feel like the person you are dealing with, they're putting an effort towards your connection, and there could be this sense that you are in a space where you are, it's like you're open to whatever comes next in this connection. So do you feel like there is this sense of trying to figure out what comes next in this connection? And I do feel like with the Seven of Pentacles showing up over here, there is someone who's making effort towards your connection and even making effort towards being recognized and noticed by you. We have the Knight of Wands. This does feel like somebody coming in. Do you feel like being able to have something offered to you? Do you feel like it's actually happening even a little bit suddenly? It could also feel like it's happening quickly. especially when it comes to how quick things are progressing. Do you feel like that with this Knight of Wands? There's a desire to be able to have something move forward, and they are moving at a pace that could also feel like it is fast. Do you feel like they're rushing in? So I'm going to clarify these cards. We have new love. We have a heart-to-heart conversations. And we have stay optimistic about your love life. So this new love card showing up over here, I do feel like this is a new energy. I do feel like also a new chapter within a connection. With the death card, there's something that cannot continue within this connection. And especially when it comes to the way that somebody is showing up, this does feel like a turning point in your connection. I also feel like a lot of changes on the horizon. And I do also feel that you could be meeting someone. I do feel like this does feel like being able to connect to somebody in a deep and meaningful way. This does feel like somebody new, a new love as well. But with the heart-to-heart conversations, I also feel like there is communication here. And do you feel like it's also communications of a deeply meaningful nature? Being able to get to know someone on a deep level, as well as be able to actually connect with somebody in a very deeply meaningful way. Do you feel like this connection is one that does go deep? I do feel like with the Seven of Cups showing up over here, this does feel like several options. I do feel like a lot of those options may actually be more surface level than what you're actually seeking. And I do feel like having heart-to-heart conversations is also contributing to being able to sift out that energy. But with the Seven of Pentacles, this does feel like it is also a process that takes time. But I do feel like there is an opportunity to be able to have something very deeply meaningful, that death card showing up over here, with someone in particular. Stay optimistic about your love life card showing up over here. I'm getting it pertaining to this Five of Cups. This does feel like being in a position where you are healing, and I do feel like you are ready for what comes next, and being in a space where you are ready to embrace what comes next, especially when it comes to being in a position where on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, it feels like you are opening up to the idea of a connection that's real, that's really rooted in something deep, something meaningful, something true. I do also get that somebody's taking action towards you. With that Knight of Wands showing up over here, it does feel like it's coming in and happening quite quickly, even progressing quite quickly. But this person is rushing in, and I do feel like there's a lot of intention behind why they're moving so fast. So those are the messages I'm getting with these cards for you, Cancer, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Cancer.